Marco Rubio stunned an audience when he suggested that the UFC fight on the White House lawn is like when man walked on the moon. What? I know. The video is almost too embarrassing to watch, but let's watch it anyway, right? Why not? Here is the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, saying, Kennedy said we're going to put a man on the moon and we did it. And look at what UFC has done. What? What is he talking about?
So I have a couple reasons why that I think is very powerful. Here's the first. The first is America, and the ideal behind America is the impossible. That someone tells you can't do that, or that's never going to happen. The whole idea of America is audacious. The very idea that America, that you could have a country where founded on the principle that your rights come not from your government or from your leaders, your rights come from your creator, was an audacious idea. No one else believed that at the world at that time. And that's the foundation. But then beyond that, everything we've done since then as a nation, time and again. Now, how can you achieve some of the things, we're going to put a man on the moon? When President Kennedy announced that we were going to put a man on the moon and return him safely to the earth, no one thought that was possible, and we did it. We are a nation founded on doing what no one else dared to do and no one else aspired to do. And at some level, that's what this whole company, what UFC has been. You see, mixed martial arts is not new. It's been around now for about 30 years, I would say, maybe 35, but there were no rules, there was no structure. I remember the early fights, I used to watch them back in the day, and it was, you could get like a 100.
Where is this going?
170-pound Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy fighting a 250-pound heavyweight who was a striker. I was like, how do you put this? The rules weren't clarified. And Dana and the people around him had a vision, and that is to create a structure around this company.
Dana White is like Kennedy saying, we do things not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Dana White is just like that. One small step. Anyway, you get the point.
Rules to define it by weight class, to structure the events, and it attracted some of the best athletes in the world. And what you've built now is this global company that not so long ago would have seemed impossible. Back in the day when boxing commissions, that's what they're called, or athletic commissions, were a little bit reluctant to give you permits to stage these fights or put on these events, or when no one knew what it was, you were able to plow through that. And today you have one of the most recognizable American sports brands on the planet.
Landing a man on the moon required hundreds of thousands of workers, scientific breakthroughs over many years, a national mission, unity of sorts. Hosting a UFC fight on the White House lawn is just a UFC fight. That's all it is. The idea of Dana White as somehow equivalent to the astronauts who went to the moon, or Kennedy, who's thought up the idea, or not thought up the idea, but said, hey, thought up the idea of making it a national focus. What? And this whole thing of like, everybody said it couldn't be done. Nobody said you couldn't do a fight on the White House lawn. We just said you shouldn't. It suggests improper judgment, backwards priorities, and really embarrassing presidential conduct to give your friend Dana White this handout of millions of dollars to make money off of an event on the White House lawn. The moon landing expanded human knowledge. The UFC card enriches a private sports company and creates a spectacle. They are not even remotely comparable categories of achievement. Notice how often the people around Trump frame entertainment as governance. The political rally is really more of a concert. It's meant to be an entertaining event. Cabinet meetings are not places for discussion of serious policy. They just sit there on camera the entire time and praise Trump like a TV reality show of who can praise Trump the most. The military parade becomes another opportunity for content. And now the White House is just a fighting arena. Embarrassing. Rubio said, he even had the audacity, if you're sitting there wondering how you're going to pay for groceries this month, how do you feel about the Secretary of State saying the UFC fight at the White House is a gift to the American people? Take a listen.
The White House is the people's house. It belongs to the people of the United States. The American 250 celebration belongs to the people of the United States. And there are millions and millions of Americans from all walks of life that are not necessarily attuned to politics or the financial markets or anything else, but they love the sport. And every Saturday, if you got a big event once a month, they're tuning in and they're watching, and they host it. For them to be able to see this event with their White House in the background as part of our celebration as a country in our 250 years, I think is a gift to the American people. That's what Saturday Sunday is about. It's a gift to the American people. They're going to see their White House in their capital on their nation's birthday, celebrating with a historic event.
Have you said thank you for this gift that Donald Trump has given you? Americans want affordable groceries and affordable gas. That's what they want. They want housing they can afford. They want to be able to afford education for their kids. The whole gift framing is also really weird when we're the ones paying for it. We're paying for security for this event at the White House. We're paying for logistics. We're paying for operational costs. It's a gift I bought myself, I guess. The more they talk about this, the more it sounds like they think this is governance. They seem to think that hosting a fight on the White House lawn is somehow governing, that they were elected to do. Marco Rubio used to try to market himself as the serious foreign policy senator. He failed to convince anybody of that, but that's how he presented himself. He's doing PR for UFC at this point in time. And there's almost something desperate about comparing a cage fight at the end. Excuse me, at the end, I'm choking over the absurdity of it. Comparing a fight to the moon landing. Here is a final message, which is Trump's thinking of leaving the arena up permanently.
Secret Service wasn't as excited by the explosions, but everybody else, and what they built out there is phenomenal. We'll never see it again. Although the president's threatening to leave it permanently. You heard that, right? He's threatening to leave the gym. Just don't know. Maybe, we'll just host weekly fights between people in politics, And
Isn't he funny? Isn't he so funny? Turn the White House into a content studio. Just leave the arena up permanently. Folks, if for there's 1,000 other reasons to put in place someone sane to replace Trump in 2028. But if nothing else, they've got to take down that UFC arena in case Trump tries to leave it up. One of the best parts of a good meal is sometimes something people overlook, having great bread. When a meal includes fresh, warm bread, everything feels a little bit better, which is why I love our sponsor, Wild Grain. Wild Grain is the first bake from frozen subscription box for sourdough breads, artisanal pastries, and fresh pastas. Everything arrives frozen, bakes in 25 minutes or less with no thawing required. Boxes are fully customizable. You can do variety, gluten-free, vegan, protein options. I love the garlic butter demi baguette. Comes out crisp on the outside, soft in the middle. Really easy. Weeknight dinner feels much more complete with it. Imagine fresh bakery quality bread, pastries, and pasta at home with no trips to the store. Wild Grain has over 40,000 five-star reviews and has been voted best food subscription box by USA Today 3 years in a row. For a limited time, get $30 off your first box plus free croissants for life at wildgrain.com/Pakman, or use the promo code Pakman at checkout. The link is in the description.